Hello and welcome to All the Best Bits, the final episode in this season of bonus content. This is your co-host Kevin, and I'm joined for the last time for this season by my cohort, my comrade, co-conspirator, collaborator, colleague, confidant, accomplice, and co-host, Will All That Jazz Collins.
All that jazz. It's a spectacular introduction, Kevin.
I thought I would ramp up the energy for this one so that this would be less of an after-show cool-down, as all the other audio commentaries and bonus content episodes have been, and more of sort of like a pre-show warm-up for the upcoming season.
Whoa.
Because this is RoboCop, which won the poll in our last episode of Season 1, which was Best Robot Scene, and it came in with 72% of the vote, beating WALL-E. So for that reason, we're doing the audio commentary for that episode. I'm really looking forward to it.
Me too. I'm honestly delighted that RoboCop beat WALL-E in that poll. I was really hoping that this one would come out on top. And listen, thank you to anyone who's managed to listen to all of the bonus content. It genuinely was thank you content. This is buffer content and thank you content for anyone who's listened to us for the full first season. And we just didn't want to leave everyone alone for the whole summer because we know our irritating voices and meanderings are a bit of a distraction to some. So yeah, that's why we're doing this. This is not bonus, but thank you content. That's what I think.
We're going to hit play at a specific point, and you can listen along while you're watching. But what we found is that a lot of people just listen to it as a regular sort of chit-chat episode, and we're happy for you to that as well. But if you do want to listen along to the film, we're watching it on Blu-ray, and we're starting it at 30 seconds in at an Orion Pictures release, that logo. So as soon as we hit play, when we say to hit play, that logo should disappear and the film will start. So get yourself set up, but we're going to hit play in 3, 2, 1. Are you ready, Will?
Yeah.
Hit play. No.
I'm off. Oh, I might be. Well, no, I'd say we're probably there together. A very bold introduction. This helicopter shot over. It was Detroit. This is actually Detroit, isn't it?
No, I don't think it is Detroit. I think they shot in
Houston.
Oh, Jesus.
It was Houston, Texas.
Yes, Houston. They shot in
Dallas.
They didn't shoot in Detroit because it didn't have the architecture that Paul Verhoeven wanted.
Dallas. It's Dallas, Texas. Dallas.
There we go.
Yeah. I
have done absolutely no research for this because I've seen this film so many times, even on the big screen, as I said in that episode.
Yeah.
And I thought, fuck it, I'll just go along with the watch and sort of like I'll leave all the research to you this time.
That's okay, Kevin, because I did like an hour of cramming. So I just had an hour of cramming just before this. But you know, the Orion logo, you know the urban myth around the Orion logo? That it's...
no.
It's the only... It's Elvis is the only way Elvis won an Oscar. Apparently Elvis, for those people who don't believe Elvis died, he continued to perform after he didn't die under the guise of a character of an Elvis impersonator act, and his character's name was Orion. And apparently he started Orion Production Company, and he won his first Oscar when Silence of the Lambs won Best Picture. I believe that's how it went, but completely hypocritical. Where did you hear this? Oh, this is fake news. I've heard this. I'm actually sure I heard this from Mark Kermode on Wittertainment. I'm pretty sure that's one of his go-to apocryphal urban legends.
My God. The amount of shite that they put out on the BBC, it's outrageous.
Stick with it.
And we are watching now the beginning of the film with all these ads.
Yeah. There's Dick Jones.
Yeah. And we're getting to meet Dick Jones, OCP president, and our vice president, and our villain of this movie, one of the villains.
According to, so this was all this televisual satire and slammed together. It was intentionally a satirical take by the writers in Newmeyer and Minor. I can't remember his first name.
Minor.
But it was completely went over the head of Paul Verhoeven, according to Paul Verhoeven himself. He just went, I don't know, I just thought it was once I actually read it, I thought it was a fun script, and I just let the social commentary to those guys. So we're straight into the police detective's office, the Detroit detective's office. And I like the sergeant.
And, you know, typical of 80s movies, everybody's an interesting face.
Yeah, it's great to look at. Everything is smoky. The sets are smoky. And people get thrown about the office. They've just kicked out some lawyers and stuff like that.
Here comes Ireland's own Murphy. I think that's what won it for me with the poll.
Yeah, I loved in that episode when you started adding the was it the national anthem? That's brilliant.
Being really extra manipulative.
Yeah.
He got this part over a few other actors. And one of them was, they wanted to get Schwarzenegger, but he was too big and bulky.
Yeah.
And who's that guy? James Remar, who I forgot to mention on Aliens.
Yeah.
He was originally Hicks. He was going to be him, and he turned it down.
Yeah.
And
Keith Carradine.
Yeah. But he got it because they felt he had a slim enough build that he'd be able to sort of fit within the suit and it wouldn't look too bulky.
Yeah. Did a nightmare. He was either fired or walked off the set in this by...
Who did?
Peter Weller. Because himself and Verhoeven really fell out because he was getting really frustrated. He was having to come in for costume like when everyone else was going out for drinks. You know, it was so early. And he was...
I imagine back then it was like, 12 hours before your day begins, just sitting in a makeup chair.
That's what he was saying. He was, I think when he did that, like, we'll go to it later on, but basically what happened was he had rehearsed all the body motion for 6 months solidly, trying to get the movement in the suit right. And then when he got the suit, which the suit wasn't even finished by the time they actually started shooting, when he got the suit, all of his technique that he'd rehearsed just didn't work with the suit. And he became supremely irritated and irritable. And he walked off the set. And they were going to, Verhoeven was quite happy to fire him. But the producer stepped in and says, yeah, well, no one else can fit the suit. So it's tailor-made for him, so you better make up. So the two of them were forced.
He's really great in this part, though, I think.
Yeah, I love him. Yeah.
Yeah. And she was actually, Nancy Allen, who is getting introduced right now, she was also a late replacement.
Oh.
She wasn't the first choice either. It was Stephanie Zimbalist, who, if you don't know that name, she was Pierce Brosnan's partner in Remington Steele.
Yeah.
Just like Remington Steele fucked up Pierce Brosnan's chances to become Bond during the Timothy Dalton era.
Yeah.
Stephanie Zimbalist had to drop out of RoboCop because of Remington Steele, the contract on that. Yeah. So Nancy Allen was a last-minute replacement. And I also think Nancy Allen is great in this.
She's great. And that was a great character introduction for her character. Like, she just came in, she got kicked around and she booted the shit out of the guy who was trying to rough her up. She took a knock and she went back and kicked the crap out of him. And immediately...
But look at this. We're right into the action.
Yeah.
They've just been thrown together. They're new partners. Murphy is taking the sort of the locker of a man who was killed in action. You can tell that the city is just rife with crime, and our B cops are out on patrol. Yeah, we're getting to meet the OCP scumbags.
Where the execs are going up to the office. That's Miguel Ferrer, and I listened to a couple of cool interviews with him.
Isn't he Clooney's cousin? I think.
I only learned that his dad is a famous writer, director, actor, who was also in one of our best bits film picks. His dad is Jose Ferrer, who was in Dune, who played the Emperor in Dune. And cousins.
So is Jose Ferrera's sister Rosemary Clooney?
So, well, it just says Jose Ferreira is the uncle of George Clooney. So that's what it said in the Wikipedia that I saw anyway. So
right, because
I don't know how it worked.
They're both related to Rosemary Clooney.
Yeah, and here we have,
I think,
Dan O'Halloran and Ronnie Cox together.
Dan O'Hurley, another Irishman.
Miguel Ferreira.
That's such an 80s boardroom.
All the screens. You could be on the set of Scrooged with all those TV screens.
Oh, Jesus, yeah.
But Miguel Ferreira, he was literally a starving actor at this stage. and he would have taken any job, and he got the script, and his agent was going to put him up for one of the gang guys, one of the Kirkwood Smith's thugs, and he saw this part of this junior exec, and he just went, I think I know that guy. I feel like he'd give him a shot, and so he just kind of chanced his arm and waited on an extra few weeks and kind of was cursing himself, thinking, "What? They've already cast the hoods. I haven't a chance for this." But when he went up for the role, he was perfect. So yeah, kind of made his career. He's like a load of CIA agents all amalgamated into one.
And
you know what's gas? That's exactly what he said he based his character on. The agents that he
really CIA.
Yeah. The agents back. He was around the town in the 80s, just coked up. A lot of them lawyers, just guys who would sell their grandmothers to the Nazis for a dime. That's exactly what he said. And
oh my God,
just ambitious bastards.
Well, he nailed it.
Yeah, he did. He really did. Fantastic performances.
I like that the black guy who's always smiling and so enthused.
Yeah.
There's a moment at the very end when Dick goes out the window and he's falling to his death, and the black guy is standing up and just looking ecstatic to see the senior VP get blown away.
It's weird. I always sympathize with that guy. He's the only exec I sympathize with. He seems to be on the right side of this, no matter what. I don't know. You're right. His expression. He has the right expression.
He came back for the sequels as well.
Yeah. Here we go to a scene which caused me childhood trauma with the introduction of Ed 200.
Really?
Yeah. I talked about this in the. I'm sure I talked about this in one of the episodes. I don't know if we cut it, but I remember picking up this.
I would never cut anything.
I probably cut it myself. I honestly can't remember. But do you remember when you first saw this film?
I don't actually, to be honest with you. I remember seeing the poster before I'd seen the film, because the poster used to always be in the video shop window.
Yeah.
That and Predator. And I always just thought I'd love to see what those films are about.
They came out around the same time, and I, by pure chance, walked into the video library on the Friday when they stocked the new films. And by pure chance, there was a 150 section, which was like the new release section. And there was RoboCop sitting in this 150 section. And I just thought, this is going to be a cool kid family. This looks like a cool superhero movie. Not seeing the 18s rating on it. And I took it home. And truly, if you watch the director's cut, what's going to happen is the junior exec is going to get absolutely pummeled with bullets. I, to this day, still believe I saw the director's cut of the scene, of the beat that's about to happen, because I was traumatized. I didn't watch this film. Oh, it was awful.
I'm pretty sure we're watching the director's cut now, because the Blu-ray that was remastered is the director's cut. There's only about 10, 20 seconds, I think, of a difference.
So this, if it's true, it's going to be, this is the one with 200 squibs. They have 200, he gets shot with 200 squids, this junior exec. It goes on way too long. It goes from being a burst of violence to it's just excessive. It's really excessive.
Stop, he's already dead.
Yeah. And the tension, this dread, the 15 seconds, I find this terrifying. Where all of a sudden everyone realizes you've got.
Do you know what I would have done? I would have ran out of the room and gone down the stairs, because I can't go downstairs.
He didn't know that in the moment. Here we go. He's getting absolutely shot to pieces. I'll tell you now if this is the director's cut just by this. I'll tell you. I know by this. Yeah, this is the director's cut. Yeah, this is the director's cut. Oh my God. I felt it was more. I felt it was a longer shot.
Tenderized.
Oh, Jesus, that's rough. But the actor...
That is all in good fun.
They redid that. The first time they did it, Verhoeven wasn't happy with how it looked. So they had to rebuild the set and to reshoot him getting... Or maybe they only rebuilt that little section that he's lying on to show him getting shot again. And the actor said it was like getting punched. Every time a squib went off, it was like getting punched. It's horrible.
And just to reiterate, they turned this into a children's Saturday morning cartoon.
Yeah. Oh, God. They would turn
RoboCop.
anything into a children's Saturday morning cartoon back in the 80s. Anything.
They did. Rambo as well.
Rambo.
I remember Rambo was a children's cartoon.
But it's weird. But you know what I find now? What I find is happening is that the reverse is happening. They're turning, they're turning that. Oh no, not the reverse. I've seen the same thing happening because I just watched Space Jam: A New Legacy with my kids in the cinema today. And
God,
I know.
Jesus, I'm glad I don't have kids.
I know, man. And they were like putting in The Matrix and Game of Thrones and all this sort of stuff. And I went,
I saw that. What the fuck was that about? That makes no sense.
It's just like, hang on a second. This means nothing to the kids. And
Clockwork Orange as well.
Oh, Clockwork Orange and like the clown from It, and it was just I don't know.
And that's like, who is that for? You know how they used to say that Pixar were great because they would put in jokes for the parents. But that's like, what's that? IP baiting for parents?
That's all it was. It was just like, look what Warner Brothers has. It's the whole thing. This is Warner Brothers' roster of characters and franchises. Aren't we great? Don't forget about these things when we try to make more dollars off them. We know we're back with Alex Murphy and Nancy Allen, and I love him spinning his pistol, and it becomes such a...
Because he's like a cowboy.
Yeah. Because he's emulating his kid's TV hero.
Barney.
I love Murphy. Like, Murphy's such a likable guy. He's just...
He is.
Gets an unjust death.
And I like the fact that they're a mixed couple.
Yeah.
And they just get on.
Mm-hmm.
In Grabbers, I originally had that in mind for the O'Shea and Lisa. They were just they were going to become really good friends at the end, and it wasn't going to become romantic.
Yeah.
But the producers and everybody decided
it's got to be romantic
to add a kiss. And I was like, but I've not had any, I've not been really setting up a romantic relationship.
Yeah.
They didn't change any scenes, but the scenes were all meant to be just like, clumsy sort of camaraderie that was building up between them until they got to a point where they both valued, respected, trusted, and really liked each other. And if there was a romantic relationship that was going to come, it was going to come after the movie was over.
Mm-hmm.
But they sort of added in this big kiss at the end, and then it became sort of like sort of a meet cute rom-com, which I wasn't. I was going more for a buddy comedy.
Mm-hmm. I think you were right, Kevin. You were right.
I mentioned this in the car chase section of the robot scene.
Yeah,
I love the music in this.
This film has come up quite a few times for us across season 1. So it's gone into the penalty box now. We can't really pull on it, but we're meeting Clarence Bodiger, and he's again interesting looking gang of goons as Murphy and Nancy Allen. Why can't I remember Nancy Allen's character's name? They're
Lewis.
They're doing clever maneuvers around the side of the van, and Kirkwood Smith is terrifying. He really is. He's got this.
He went up for the role of, I think it was Dick Jones, and even though he's quite small, they cast him as Bodeker. Are there a lot of Bodekers up north? Have you ever heard that name?
Never, not once, Kevin.
No, nor have I. Maybe they mean the north of England. Somebody just said that to us on Twitter. And,
oh, really?
And I thought, are they? Yeah, there are Bodekers up north. That name.
Oh yeah, well, not here anyway.
Here we are. We're going into. I remember when I must have been quite young actually when I saw this, because I do remember getting quite anxious that this felt like it was moving into a horror movie territory.
Mm-hmm.
And I wouldn't have felt that way if I was a little older, but I do remember feeling quite like uneasy. It didn't feel safe. It felt creepy.
I was already. Let's say I'm watching this, right? I was already traumatized by the scene in the exec's room. And I'm the exact same as you, but now we're in a great location scouting because it feels terrifying and inhuman.
It feels like a Mission Impossible meeting conference room.
Yep. But now we're going to go into the scene that made me actually turn off the film. I actually turned off the film. It didn't. I felt nauseous. I think I remember just feeling nauseous and sick. And after seeing witnessing poor Alex Murphy's crucifixion, which is literally what it
that must have been
represent.
A terrible 16th birthday for you.
It was awful. Oh God.
It's funny you do say though, like the crucifixion of Alex Murphy, because there's a moment towards the end where he is walking over shallow water.
Yeah,
and it sort of hits home the Jesus metaphor of.
Oh yeah, it's total Jesus metaphor throughout this.
She can't help but looking at his dick.
Yeah, there you go. There's the women for you. So patronizing.
We've all been urinals.
You do everything in your eyes, everything in your power to stop those eye muscles from going down right, left. I
always think you can tell a psychopath by where they stand in a urinal. Like when you go in, you obviously go to the furthest one away from the door.
Yeah.
And if the next person in, they should know that they're automatically to go to the furthest one away from you.
Yeah.
And then the next person that comes in, they go equidistance from both of you. But if somebody comes in and they stand like one away from you or two away from you, you think you're not right. You this is not the way. You're breaking the social contract here.
And if they open their belt and unbutton their pants and drop their pants below their butt, then we're definitely in weird territory, which I've encountered. It's very weird.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
I remember going into a dive bar in LA, and I asked for the key to the. I think you need to get a key to use the bathroom, and the bathroom had a urinal next to a sink and a toilet right beside the urinal.
Yeah.
I thought, like, is this like, does somebody ever come in and sit down on the toilet while somebody else is at the urinal or somebody else is washing their hands? It was like fucking baffling.
Yeah. Sometimes American toilets do really unnerve me. You go in, you go, come here. These gaps. First of all, the stalls with all these gaps where you barely have any privacy.
Also, the person that's standing there, like, holding out their hands for like a tip, so they can give you like
yeah. Oh no,
cheap soap.
No, poor Alex has been caught. Even though he's taken out a couple of the bad guys, he's now been captured by Clarence Boddicker.
Alex feels like such an 80s name.
There aren't enough Alexes now. Cool helmet.
You had like Alex from Family Ties. You had I think little Alex from Child's Play.
Okay.
Alex Murphy. You don't really hear of any Alexes.
Yeah. I literally can't think of a single Alex for me. Except for the Alex in front of my face.
Alec. There's a few Alex.
Whenever I think of...
So this came up with Dan when he was on SFX, this sequence. I'm slightly preempting it a little bit.
But, we'll talk about it now because we're going into it now.
Yeah, so Dan was talking about how they built the rig and they had a maquette. Would you call it a maquette? They had sort of a full-size model of Peter Weller. So from the hand onwards, they just kept building more and more parts of him to blow up. Jesus. But there's go back to episode 9, I think it is, where Dan talks about it.
This is really disturbing, Kevin.
Yeah.
No. It's still. Oh, Jesus Christ! It actually still has an effect on me. This scene. It's obviously I watched it too young, and it still sticks with me.
Would you show your kids this?
Yeah. Actually, I'll just wake them up out of bed now and bring them in. Rob Bottin. Rob Bottin is the genius behind all this. The guy wasn't Rob Bottin the guy who did Lovey's Magic on The Thing. So.
Yeah, and he also played Blake in The Fog, one of the pirates.
Oh gosh, yeah, this is director's cut, Kevin. Yeah, because I could see that. You can actually on this Blu-ray copy, you can still see the inserted shots. They're a little bit grainier. That's an inserted shot there. Yeah, Robotin is a bit of a genius, and he, after listening to the Q&A, he's actually directly
retired.
But he influenced the how RoboCop is, how we are introduced to RoboCop on screen. It's Robotin told Verhoeven how to do it, and we'll kind of get to it when we get there.
Which is like from his point of view, like from behind the visor?
No, from piece by piece.
Oh, maybe behind the glass.
Yeah, all those little stages. He said.
So that's a model.
So this is all a model. Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah,
it's amazing. Really, a bit of genius work. So if you haven't heard it, go back to the best FX practical effects scene episode where Dan describes the making of this, and I loved hearing Dan's insight about the whole practical effects thing. It's really brilliant. Makes you appreciate all of the
I just liked it because it was somebody new to talk to.
Yeah, you're sick of hearing my voice saying all that jazz. Poor Murphy. That was an awful death. So he's been crucified. He has been crucified.
It's not going to be the worst death in this, though.
For me, it was the most traumatic one for me.
Maybe it actually is, but there's definitely a more disgusting death.
But don't you, like, still now, like, this is, it came out in 87, we're 34 years on from it. But this is pulling all the strings for me. I now have ultimate empathy for the character Alex Murphy and what happens to him now because of the trauma he's experienced.
So silly. He's had his head blown completely wide open, and they're like giving him oxygen, and
he's still breathing.
I don't think he'd survive this. But it's
you never
modern
know.
medicine. They can do anything.
Hey, they brought back JFK.
Check his teeth. Make sure you check his teeth.
Elvis is still alive.
2 cavities.
To fake the moon landing. They could do a lot of things.
Someone said today, why do we think of the US as winning the space race when Russia had the first cosmonaut, they're the first animal in space, they're the first rocket in space, they all these firsts.
Yeah.
But the Americans built it around the race to the moon.
There was something, there was like I saw a kid's thing on Horrible Histories actually yesterday, and they described the space race. The final score in the space race was 3-2 to the Americans, and I don't know what three things the Americans achieved aside from
that was a really sad image there of him seeing his wife and his kid wave goodbye to him as he's whisked down the road. That's a really haunting image.
Yeah.
Just the mundanity of it, but what it signifies.
And also, cross-cutting that with all this life-saving attempts and very graphic like images like of them trying to resuscitate reboot his heart and defibrillate him.
All right, I think that's all we can do. Let's call it. What's the time? 6:15.
Bring in the LED.
So a children's Saturday morning cartoon.
It truly is. It truly is. Oh man! But I love this. I love now. So we got the lens.
We're 26 minutes in,
and we have.
And look how much story we've gotten.
Yeah. And so Rob Bottin. Now we're going to get introduced to RoboCop, and he said, fine, do the POV shot, but it's when we actually see him standing up. He said, hold off on. Because Verhoeven was just going to straight up show RoboCop in full, immediately we see him. But Bottin said no. He said the audience will laugh at him. But if we can introduce the sound of him, the little specific shots of the body, so that the audience can kind of construct the image of RoboCop in their mind, and also see how people react to him. Again, reaction shots are very important to establish how an audience should react to seeing this character full. It really works.
As you're saying that, if they just now cut to RoboCop sitting in the armchair, you would actually laugh.
You just go, what?
It's funny.
Yeah, we're reacting to people's reaction. All of this is other people's reaction. Even this
It's building
I love the stuff at the
anticipation.
arm. Miguel Ferreira is now going to test out the arm, and you in your head are doing the maths that, oh, hang on a second, there's just a torso. There must just be a torso of RoboCop on a chair right now, and like, it's good stuff.
I remember the sequel. I know we're not talking about that one, but I found that
3.
one really unpleasant. Yeah, RoboCop 2.
Yeah, I know. I was joking. That was the one I went back to more than RoboCop 1. I found it less disturbing.
Horrible.
Yeah,
When the
it's
kid
so
is
cynical.
watching the guy have surgery performed on him with no anesthesia, that just weirded me out.
Yeah, I was able to handle it more than this one, and that was a horrible
God, the
set.
opposite for
Apparently,
me.
yeah. Apparently, that was an awful set. Apparently, it was a terrible experience for Irvin Kershner. Isn't it Irvin Kershner who did Emperor Strikes Back as well? Directed RoboCop 2.
Yeah.
It was.
The Nancy Allen said he just did not like her.
Yeah. So here we are now, the introduction of RoboCop. And we see everyone admiring him. Yeah, and it's the servo motors, it's the sound effects are so important.
It's the black guy smiling again.
Yeah, and we get a glimpse of RoboCop in the monitor right there. So we see him passing the monitor, and it's like a very, you kind of got a kind of just a side glimpse of his shoulder.
You're like, what does he look like? Does he look like what's on the poster?
Yeah. And he sounds cool. We know he sounds excellent. And now he's...
It's funny how you sort of like, films are built around you experiencing things without knowing anything at all, other than what you're seeing. And then marketing materials will always sort of like undercut it, because they've got to entice you somehow.
Yeah.
So it's like if you watch Terminator 2 without knowing anything about that film, the structure is set up where Arnie's character is introduced like a villain again.
Mm-hmm.
So the reveal that he's a good guy comes within the movie, but all the trailers and the marketing establish that he is a good Terminator this time. And the film plays very differently if you don't know that.
Mm-hmm. See there, we just saw RoboCop walking by the frosted glass, and everyone, even the criminals,
What is this shit?
Everyone is just like, yeah, whatever. Yeah, we've got the serial killer. It doesn't matter. Let's go look at this cool robot thing.
Yeah, it's so cool though. It's such a great way to introduce him.
Yeah, they literally are like kids, and he looks amazing. You see him
I love that.
back. Oh, he looks brilliant.
Podbot's a fan.
And Miguel Ferrer said it looked like shit in real life. He said standing in the at the queue for lunch.
I bet Rob Bottin liked him.
Oh, Miguel Ferrer.
Hey man, I saw the RoboCop suit. Oh my god, he looks like shit.
Yeah, it looks like that. Beef out. But he said, but what he said then is he qualified and he said,
Smiling again. Why is he always smiling? His whole character's built around, I find everything amusing.
that's why he isn't killed. But yeah, he said once the sound was added, he said it was so
This is
vital.
the way I sit doing the podcast.
on this rotating chair.
Yep. Plugged in like that.
Plugged in, yeah.
Scanning my iPad, laptop, phone, second monitor, ring light.
I know all of these sounds. Do you have a ring light? Oh my god, just for your anus. Amazing. It's a bad joke.
It glows in the dark. I don't actually have a ring light. I remember when we first began, you said, and we can also like do video episodes. I thought, that's absolutely definitely not happening. I'm not putting myself on YouTube. You can forget that.
Yeah. And I'm so glad we didn't. Because now everyone knows we just do this fully naked. Oh, I love again this reveal of like now we're in the firing range, and we go.
So when I see this, what comes to mind for me is that I ripped the sound from this section and then overlaid it with Wall-E saying, his name.
Yeah.
So I took the gun from here and from when RoboCop said, dead or alive, you're coming with me. And then I just put it all together so it sounded like RoboCop was executing Wally.
Oh man, you do so much.
This is the shit that I do when I'm doing it.
Yeah, seriously.
An episode.
Everyone needs to know Kevin does so much work on his episodes, and I literally phone it in.
You don't literally phone it in. You've got a mic.
Sorry, Kevin. I need to stop saying literally. But look at him. Look at him. He's amazing. And then this is the signature twirl of the firearm and into the holster.
She knows there's still something human about him.
Yeah, and she knows this might be.
Yeah,
she knows it's Murphy. She doesn't know it's Murphy yet.
She does. She knew just by that, by him spinning the
Oh, sorry.
his gun like that.
Yeah.
That's why they did the close up on her face, sort of looking quizzical, thinking.
What I meant was, Kevin, that prior to that moment, she didn't know that he was Murphy. She's just caught by that moment.
Yeah. She just copped it right there. As a cop.
That's proper detective work. He spins his gun. That robot spins his gun like my former partner. They must be.
Oh, the music. Listen to the music.
I'm not listening to it, but I can hear it. Dun, 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 dun. It's in my head. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. It's in my head. I hate
when people sing on podcasts. It's one of my pet peeves. And they do it all the time on the American sort of, the ones where they do all the improv. They always burst into song, and I just want to strangle them all. Stop singing, you bastards.
I'm going to keep singing just for you now, Kevin. Here's now RoboCop.
They just passed a shelf that had ROM Space Knight, which was one of the influences on RoboCop for Miner and Newer, the other writer.
Yeah.
Newmeyer, yep. And Judge Dredd as well. So if you look at that shelf, you'll see comics for ROM Space Knight and Judge Dredd.
And apparently
it's the first suit.
RoboCop was the reason that the Judge Dredd film didn't go ahead, because RoboCop kind of stole their thunder a bit. For years, it was put back for several years. That's what. But you were saying, sorry, about the suit.
Yeah, the suit, the original design of the suit was pretty much similar to Judge Dredd's costume from the comic books.
Yeah. The sound now, RoboCop's come into the shop, and the sound of him when he opens the doors, it's
such a cliche now, though, that every single superhero movie has to have somebody robbing a diner. Or not a diner. What would you call this?
A convenience
7-Eleven.
Yeah.
Yeah. There must be about 20 versions of it.
And there we also, this is our second or third time we've seen that. I'd buy that for $1, which is completely invented.
Which is the guy from Goodfellas. The weak guy from. No, it's not.
Okay, thanks, Kevin. And now we get.
I'm doing callbacks to episodes, and you can't remember what I'm saying. Referencing.
We're getting the attempted rape scene. She's clearly wearing a wig there. Oh yeah, because they're putting her hair.
She really is. Yeah.
Yeah. It's amazing with wigs. You can always tell them. You can always spot a wig.
What's he trying to do?
He's trying to readjust her dress.
Cut her knickers off?
No, he's just literally he says it's a bit too long. We should have it above the knee. Here we go. This is a gruesome death, but it's one of those deaths where you kind of go, he kind of deserves it. And he doesn't die, so...
There's no point in living after that.
Yeah. But also, this is that thing you told me about a RoboCop remake. Is that what it is?
A RoboCop remake.
RoboCop remake. And the scene, it's a scene of so many guys getting their dicks shot off. It is...
Oh, hilarious.
Very funny. And gross, but very funny.
The future has a silver lining.
I will notify a rape crisis center.
I just love the look of this film.
I was just thinking the same thing. It's dirty. It's dirty, isn't it? Like, it's just...
It's filthy.
Yeah. And again, we're having a film with interesting looking characters all around the place.
Yeah, faces.
Faces, man.
Don't you just love them?
With faces. I just want to see film with faces. Proper faces.
Yeah. Give me bad skin, paunches.
Yeah. Greasy hair.
Greasy hair. And nipples. And I'm happy.
Nipples on the face, preferably.
Well, nipples are the windows to the soul. Have you ever seen reporters act like that? They always get into this fucking scrum.
Have you not seen
reporters
outside of nearly every courtroom that this stuff sort of happens? Or maybe that's just the movies.
It's just the movies. Because if everybody is shouting, then all you're getting is Channel 65 reporter call from, and it's like you're not going to hear anything. So that everyone is quiet.
I feel like
it's only when someone's running away that they say, any comment?
What I love about, I don't know if you remember, but back in the one great thing about Ireland back in the 80s is that we had reporters that chased after cars. They literally would follow a politician, and they would, as a politician wouldn't answer the question, they would get into the car. The reporter would literally run alongside the car, shouting questions at him. And it was a great sight. It was a great sight. These reporters don't chase after cars. Sometimes the reporter...
Do you remember when they would they'd all wear rollerblades?
Yeah.
And they would it looked like a rollerball. They'd be bumping up against them. Yeah. Tarnish it. Do you have any comment? Yeah. Fuck off.
Yeah. I didn't take any envelope. It was just a bag of seeds. And now we see Robo, because he's now come to this hostage situation, and he's using his thermal vision. We'll get to seeing all his powers, and he just punches through a goddamn wall and pulls. Now that guy.
So you can see why Neumeier, who was on the set of Blade Runner, would have been inspired to do a reversal of. Well, there we go. Neumeier backs up my take on Blade Runner, which is that rather than a human chasing down robots or replicants, he wanted to have a robot chasing down humans and do the inverse of Blade Runner. So there you go.
Now, is this a theory you've developed? Is this a theory you've developed as in, or is this something you've heard him say?
No, it's exactly him and Miner got together by combining their ideas, which was Super Cop and yeah, whatever the hell Miner was working on. But yeah, Neumeier wanted to do a reversal on Blade Runner, which was to have a robot protagonist.
Mm-hmm. That's so cool. That is so cool. Isn't it? It's great that there's that connection between them.
No gum. Get them before they get you.
The fake ads in this film are just great. They're all... But they all are great because they expand the consciousness of the world. They expand kind of like the...
do you know if we ever get a spoof scene? Do you know what I'm going to do?
What?
I'm going to create fake ads for the episode.
God, Kevin. I know you will too. This is the thing. I know you
Absolutely
will too.
know I will.
Yeah, you will. I will, dear listeners, I will never go to such lengths for you. For Kevin here, his love for going to the extra mile just for your entertainment. I think you have to appreciate it.
This is the benefit of not having kids.
Yeah.
The audience are my kids. I'm Santa Claus, and I just want to give gifts to all the listeners.
One day I'm just going to let my kids sit in the hosting chair for me, sit in as a replacement for me.
Oh my God, I won't be able to say anything. I'll be, because I swear so much.
Well, not as much as they do.
That urinal is very low down.
That's for the kids.
Oh. The young executives, the 14-year-olds working at OCP.
I love that these. So Miguel Ferrer is in the urinal, and they've both been talking shit about Ronnie Cox.
Now listen.
And everyone scampered off. I think one guy left and he's just pissed his pants. So it's just Ronnie Cox.
Every CEO and head exec that I know, they have a toilet in their office, an ensuite. Some of them even have showers. So this is complete bullshit.
But they make a point in this that this is the executive. This is like, a special executive.
Oh, right.
Toilets.
The executive lounge.
Yeah. They make a point of it, that you're in the executive lounge. There's a beat here where Ronnie Cox is intimidating Miguel Ferrer, and in the script they had it.
You love saying that name.
I do. Pulls his hair, and Miguel Ferrer, it was like bucked against that for the longest time. And it wasn't until the day they were shooting it that Ronnie Cox told him, he said, look, he convinced him, he said, look, man, don't worry. Like, because Miguel was thinking, I'm going to lose it with you. I'm going to actually punch you back if you do that to me. And eventually Ronnie Cox kind of like convinced him, said, look, we'll do it all right. And he let him do it, and he was really glad. He said that he was just so glad that Ronnie allowed him to pull his hair, because it's again a vicious act. It's a vicious act. And it's very, it stands out.
That's an odd reaction for him to have. If I was an actor, I'd be like, fucking belt me. I don't care.
Yeah,
as long as you don't injure me, but like, do whatever makes it feel interesting and real.
I think he was afraid because it might emasculate him a little bit. And
I think that's more of it. I think he's like thinking, you're going to win the scene over me.
Yeah, don't emasculate. And his reaction here, where we just saw him pull his hair, like Miguel gives it, like wants to hit him.
It's a great scene, though.
It's great. It stands out because of the hair pull. The hair pull makes it kind of...
Kiss him. Do you ever see boxers when they're squaring up to each other for the weigh-in? And oftentimes they'll like peck them on the lips just to fucking piss them off.
Jeez, yeah, and it would drive them wild. It would just drive them wild.
Just absolutely trigger all their ape reactions.
But the thing I've learned, the thing that has stuck me from this film is that physicality is so vital in a scene. Little touches of odd physicality can really stick in your head as an audience.
I was listening to Matt Damon on a podcast recently. He was talking about Nicholson on The Departed. And Nicholson was scheduled on the call sheet to come in and do an eighth of a page where he was in a field and he shot a guy in the head. And Nicholson said, I've seen that so many times. So he said to Scorsese, make it a woman instead, because that's already more interesting. And then he said, and leave the camera rolling. So when he shoots her in the head, then Nicholson ad-libbed, she fell kind of funny. Yeah. And he said, that's a weird thing for him to say. And he said, also put Ray Winston in the scene with me so I can have somebody to bounce off of, because he wasn't scheduled to be there either. And Ray Winston takes out an axe. And then Nicholson says, no, wait a second. I think I want to fuck her again. And Ray Winston looks at him and says, you ought to see somebody. That's really not right. And Nicholson cracks up laughing like, I got him. And Matt Damon was recounting this saying, there was nothing that was added to the schedule. It was everything you had. You didn't make the film more expensive or anything. You just sort of let the camera roll a little bit longer, and you tried to add more and more interesting things you hadn't seen before into the scene. So what was originally just sort of a cutaway of Nicholson shooting a guy in the head, execution style, kneeling in a field, became this really interesting character moment, and they cut it down in The Departed. So he doesn't actually say, I want to fuck her again. That's cut out. But the other stuff where he's like, she felt kind of funny, is like, that tells you so much about that character. How many people he executed where he would have that insight into somebody falling. Yeah. Off
that's
topic.
amazing.
But this is this is where Lewis is having her first interaction with RoboCop in the hallway. She's past him, and she's trying to figure out, does he remember her?
And now, what even more significantly is that RoboCop is after having his first nightmare, where we've seen through the monitors that he's Boddicker's come back into his dreams, and he got up off his chair and has just marched out. So he's questioning himself, and Lewis comes at the right time. She says, "Murphy, it's you." He steps back. But I love what you said. That's the beauty of a live action film, is that if you allow for that moment of not inspiration, but natural.
Well, just what can you do to make it a little bit more interesting? What more can you put across? What extra elements can you sell?
Yeah, details
in this moment.
Yeah, just details. Finding little, shining, those unique moments, and those little beats can really help elevate, an overall film.
There are also stuff that get cut though. It just becomes about the information is that he kills people. We need to see just that, forget everything else, and then that's why some films end up being great and other films end up feeling very perfunctory. I feel like I've said that before in this podcast.
But I think if you hold on, if you 10 ad libs and out of 10 you might have one that is worth it, then I think it's worth the gamble.
It's so clockwork. I mean, we're coming up now 50 minutes in. We're at the halfway point already.
And it's amazing. And again, you know exactly what's going on. Now the machine is the thing that they haven't counted for these execs is that his humanity remains.
Yeah. They couldn't erase him entirely.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So now we got the scene where one of Boddicker's henchmen goes to a petrol station to fill up on petrol. His motorbike.
Gasoline.
My daughter today said to me, "Where did you put the gas, Dad, when we were getting the diesel in the car?" And I went, "What did you say?" She just turned 5. Where do we put the gas?
Oh, she's watching American TV shows.
Yeah, with TV shows, and so I just went, "Oh my God, my dear." She says, "That's the wrong word." And then she qualified, and she says, "Listen, Dad, I'm only small. I'm still learning. She said, "I'm just learning." And I went, "You're totally right. You learned the right word for it."
Listen, douchebag, I'm only 5.
She said, "Listen, Dad, I'm only small. I'm still learning." And I just went, "Listen, I'll give you." I didn't kick her out of the car. I didn't let her walk. It's all allegedly. Oh, here's one of those. What's the split focus? What do you call those things?
Split diopter.
Split diopter. It was just one right there. I never noticed it before.
Dead or alive, you are coming with me.
Poor guy. What's your plane geometry? I always thought that was like plane geometry as like simple geometry. It's actually plane geometry.
Do you think that it would have been cooler if RoboCop was on a motorcycle rather than in a sort of a sedan?
I think this is so cool. He just suits that car. I think it would be cooler if he'd a jetpack. Like
no.
The third film. I've only seen the third film once. I actually have it because I bought the Blu-ray set, so of those 3 films, and I will go and watch that third film just to see what it's like.
I always love when they start shooting metal.
Oh yeah, the ping.
No, but it's like, you idiots, just either shoot him in the face or don't shoot him. This is amazing though, the way that he's sort of having this. He's disassociating as he's looking at this guy. We killed you.
He just shuts down. Yeah.
And we're going to get an amazing walking away from an explosion moment.
This was back when you could do it and it was cool.
So, did I tell you that it's impossible to light petrol on fire from a cigarette?
You never told me that. No.
I'm sure I did. Who else did I say it to?
You mean I've been wasting all my Saturdays hanging around petrol stations? God damn it. I took up smoking especially to practice it. Yeah.
No, but it's not you see it in movies where somebody will flick a cigarette at like a pool of petrol or gasoline, and it would ignite. it won't ignite. The fluid will put it out. But you can set the vapors on fire.
Oh, okay.
You'd need a naked flame like a match.
Right, okay.
I'm sure I've said that. Listeners, have I said that before in this podcast?
No,
I'm sure I have.
You have not. No, I don't. I listen to this podcast every night to go to sleep to. And you haven't.
On half speed.
And again, here's RoboCop now, and he's just
How many
marching
kids pretended to walk like RoboCop? I bet you millions. And how many kids gave the finger to cops? I bet millions.
The only thing I would fault with that was when he turns around, you can quite clearly see, that's a puppet arm, but and it kind of stood out. The motion and the motion of the arm didn't quite match. But I'll give him a break. But again, this is back in the 1987. All this
with dial-up internet.
So cool. I wonder when. Actually, I don't actually know when this is set. Let's actually look. We never actually see. I wonder if I can find it out. You guess what year it's set in?
2094 AD.
Oh, do you know that there's... sorry, in finding that, I didn't realize that apparently... I haven't found the year it's set. But there's apparently a sequel has been... A direct sequel has been announced. Well,
they announced a load of shit. It doesn't mean anything. Is this going to be with Blomkamp?
RoboCop Returns. And...
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
Maybe not, no. A direct sequel to just the first film. That's what they said. Oh, we see a date of birth there for Alex on the screen. We didn't see his date of birth. Or did it see date?
Rewind it.
And you can edit it.
Does that term mean anything anymore? Rewind?
Rewind it. Does to my kids, because I say it. I say it to my kids, rewind that, and my kids understand that. Yeah, rewind.
Primrose Lane.
But it's just one of those terms that just enters the lexicon, and its origins. People in decades to come, they will say, "Do you know where the word rewind actually comes from? It's the rewinding of spools because things were on spools." It's like, what? That's what I say. Rewind. Oh my god! It's like upper and lowercase letters. That comes from in printing shops. The uppercase was where they kept all the capital letters, and the lowercase was where they kept all the smaller case letters. And there was literally an uppercase.
Oh, it was an actual case, and they take out the little blocks.
Yeah, so they were the lowercase was where all the lowercase letters were, and the uppercase were in the uppercase. Literally was where they were positioned. So that's where we get uppercase and lowercase. Oh god damn it! Well, in that case, it literally it was the right context to use literally.
I'm going to give you a complex.
Kevin, first of many.
Oh my god, I'm sorry. I should talk. Listen, one of the things that I say is obviously, and I don't need to qualify things like that. And obviously, and obviously, and obviously, and I'm like, wait, and obviously what? Shut up.
Wouldn't you think they would have cleaned up? Now, if you were trying to sell a house,
but the mother obviously had a fucking breakdown. Her husband's head was blown off. They didn't even have a funeral.
They're trying to sell the house. They've put in, the estate agents have come in and put in like a virtual estate agent device in all the rooms. Yet they failed to clean up the mother's grief shrine to her.
It's so good, though, the way that it's put together. I mean, I love all this. Not many films would go to this extent of showing all this, because it's character stuff. It's not helping the plot in any way. It's all to service the arc of the character.
That's true, yeah.
I love you.
Thanks, Kevin.
So if he eats paste, does he have a bum hole?
Well, that's where the robo nappy comes in. There's like a little flap where his butt is, and it just and little packets roll out of his poops.
Dried,
in a rest.
like rabbit shite.
Yeah.
Pellets. Where's RoboCop? He's squatting down, releasing his pellets. Shut up, crime.
And they forgot to like program him to use the toilet, so he just does it anywhere. And now RoboCop's in like the tech noir nightclub, and this dumb, and he's catching one of them.
Kick him in the
so stupid
plastic groin.
Yeah.
Ow. Ow.
Again, grabbing by the hair. It's repeated in this film. RoboCop drags him out by his
maybe
by
there's
head.
something to that.
It's very emasculating, I find. Here we're back with Miguel Ferreira, and he's
Morton.
having a party with two ladies.
I don't think you could call those ladies, to be honest.
And for some reason, they've obviously stopped baking because there's just baking soda on.
You get me so horny, baby. That is... Why would they put the Coke spread it all over the table like that? It's so messy. What the hell is she doing? Such a... The excess in the 80s.
But, on set, apparently a lot of this was being used as well. According to him, he said, yeah, there's a lot of cocaine going around set. I'm not surprised.
Wow, how could you act on that stuff?
It was all Verhoeven, I'd imagine. Allegedly.
Do you reckon?
Oh, come here.
Bring RoboCop in. We're going to put the camera over there. We're going to fucking shoot it over there. We're going to come over here. We're going to have a dolly shot. We're going to RoboCop. Calm down, Paul.
More squiz, more violence.
Oh, buddy boy.
We got to see the titties. Get the titties out. Where are the titties?
I guess you're on your knees about now.
It is so intimidating. Boddicker, every act of violence in this film, I find, is brutal. And that's what's different about Verhoeven's films. The violence isn't throwaway.
I like the fact that it's not digital blood. I know they wouldn't have had the ability to do it.
But there's a quality to the way he shoots his action scenes, where it's not just like a generic 80s American action movie where he just blows a guy away. There really is consequences. And what I mean is the consequences. We feel the brutality, we feel the blood, and we see it.
Yeah.
It feels awful.
It's
and
not
that's
like
Verhoeven's quality.
Bond film where somebody get shot and they just sort of fall over. Or that recent Marvel movie where the Black Widow's sister shanks a woman with a dagger in the belly, twists it and pulls it across, basically disemboweling her. And the woman is lying on the ground with just a damp patch, not even her clothes torn. And she's basically falling asleep. And that's how they're showing vicious violence in a kid's film. It's crazy.
Like the casting about that
This
Black
looks
Widow.
painful.
This genuinely looks like it's brutal. And honestly, that's the way I feel violence should be depicted on screen. So we should see the
Yeah,
brutality of it.
It shouldn't be throwaway.
Unconsequential. Yeah, unconsequential. Just like, I've shot you, bang, you're dead,
Show the man what we brought him for Christmas.
This is your drug lab, Kevin.
I have never, ever had a drug lab.
Allegedly.
Think about it, chum. Good business is where you find it.
But yeah, this is so. I would say this is what the first of Verhoeven's kind of like trilogy of kind of like satirical sci-fi films, and 3 fantastic films. This Total Recall,
and Super Troopers.
Totally
Starship
different.
Troopers.
Starship Troopers, yeah. They really are a trilogy, and they're fantastic. I love them all.
I wonder why he left Hollywood. Was it just that he wasn't getting the work, or he just was not?
Showgirls. Sugar's really damaged his career. It was he was basically became. I think in Hollywood you can very quickly enter director jail, and that for him and God, what was the name of the writer? We talked about him so much, and I kept getting his name mispronounced.
Joe Esterhaz.
Joe Esterhaz and himself. They really did went into director and writer jail after Showgirls. So no choice.
I just listened to the episode for Mission Impossible Fallout, and I called Emilio Estevez Emilio Estehaz, and Kristen Scott Thomas I called Kirsten Scott Thomas, and I kept calling Solomon Lane Solomon Kane.
Oh, I didn't know any of that.
I was like, what is wrong with my brain?
Oh, we continually, I continually mistake and mispronounce people's names. And I do think it might be a factor of going past the 40 mark. Like, I definitely noticed that my recall ability and pronunciation of some people's names.
Honestly, mine's been bad since I started to, I'd say from about 3 or 4 years into my screenwriting career, when it was properly going after Grabbers. Just juggling so many different character names and plot points, and just focusing on compartmentalizing what you could remember, what was important to remember, that everything else would just fly out the window. I couldn't remember who I was dealing with, what executives I'd spoken to, or who I'd spoken to on the phone, because I would just remember the character names and the side characters and on all these different projects, and I think it sort of just melted my brain a little, where now I have no recall whatsoever.
But I remember on my first feature, live action feature, the director kept calling me he kept mistaking my name for one of the characters' names, one of the lead character's name. But I totally understand why he was doing it. I actually now go, he just kind of equated me with that character, and he kept calling me Noel. I was like, I'm not Noel. I'm not Noel.
Oh, right, you going Nancy Allen.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, that was it. He just had that character in his head so much, like he would just.
But Nancy Allen as a person, well, my God, you really are losing it.
I am. Now we're back to RoboCop, and it's this awesome. This for me,
and we're back.
I want to talk. If we're talking about screenwriting structure, this for me is the mid-act climax of this whole film. You talked about this being a kind of
what is a mid-act climax?
This is.
Do you mean like the midpoint?
Well, whatever. The middle part of the movie where we see where we're shit.
No, this is definitely this is definitely the midpoint, even though we're slightly past the midpoint. But
just kind of loosely. I think everyone knows this loosely. Where we get like RoboCop being RoboCop in full kind of kick-ass mode, and it's after this the layers of RoboCop get stripped away. So RoboCop now has reached his fullest potential, and it's post this moment where really the layers really, even though they've begun to be stripped away when he had his nightmares and whatnot.
Well, he's about to realize that the person that created him is also working with the person that killed him.
Yeah.
So he's going to realize that the system is corrupt.
Mm-hmm.
As Podbot said in Best Robot Scene.
Yeah. I believe the glass he's throwing him through there is real glass. And they had like little devices set to shatter the glass just before the character went through it.
No, are you taking the piss, or is that real?
No, it's true. No, and actually, this is an actual fact, and I don't know. No, if you look, we see him go through a couple of layers of glass right now. So watch. What he's going through is real glass.
That's not sugar glass.
No, it's not sugar glass. No, it's real glass.
You cocksucker.
Yeah. I don't know why they chose to do that, but they did.
For those listening, I'm reading the subtitles. I'm not actually just calling Will.
And for those listening, probably I just ignored it, Kevin, as usual. Just he said something and I just didn't listen.
When we started out on Jaws, the first episode, we said, let's make sure not to talk over each other. To allow space, because we're not going to be editing the commentaries. And now we're on the last one and we're just like blah 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 blah.
Doesn't matter anymore.
It's just like fuck, you know what we're saying. We just keep talking over each other.
I was telling Kevin, this is just all for our listeners. I'm actually recording tomorrow morning. I'm actually recording my first like real audio commentary for one of my own films. But no, what I mean by that is this has been the best. This item was either the best or the worst practice for doing that tomorrow, because tomorrow I'm just going to end up talking all over the director tomorrow.
I just hope that Tom will be like saying, Dwayne Johnson, fuck him.
I'll just start going into my Arnold Schwarzenegger Kerry accent. Take me to the chopper. Take me to the chopper, Willow.
Please do. And report back.
I'll be back.
Everything is 80s. Even the globe in the office is 80s.
Yeah. So you see it where RoboCop brought in Boddicker into the station, and Boddicker spat blood on the desk. And again, that was an improvised moment that Kirkwood Smith came up with, and he says, "What if I spit in the desk? If I get blood in my butt and I spit in the desk?" And of course, Verhoeven went, "Oh yeah, do it." So, and again,
did you see the building that they just drove into? That was a model.
No way.
Yeah, they matched the actual bottom half of a building with the top half model, and they sort of mapped the two of them together. Great, though.
It really worked. Yeah.
Those are sort of invisible practical effects, and we're going to see another model matte right here, where it's that.
Oh, you can see it, yeah. But again, it looks so good.
It does.
Like, I don't mind watching that. I don't mind watching that effect. It looks like practical.
The only bad effect in this is when Dick Jones goes out the window and he's got the super long arms.
And I think that was down to low budget and no time. I think that's the reason it went like that.
But when you see the actual model itself that they were, tweaking, it does have stupidly long forearms.
Why did they?
So it's like, lads, what's going on here? They must have thought it was going to be on a different lens.
I'd love to find out what happened there.
Coke.
Maybe that's what.
Allegedly. Just make his arms longer. Make them longer. They'll be fine. Longer.
Insurance policy called Directive 4. My little contribution to your psychological.
I will. If you were to rename this movie, what would you call it? If they said we can't do RoboCop because there's a Japanese children's project called that, it needs a new name.
I would call it Android Garda. Androgarda. What about you? Have you got a name for it?
I would call it Murphy 2.0.
Oh, you actually went for a kind of a proper attempt at it.
Yeah, because I couldn't think of anything funny.
Oh, okay. Well,
not the first time, says you.
But well, you've done it more than I have. RoboCop has come in to face off
Hasn't
against
he got very big
Dick
tits?
Jones, and I'm just ignoring that. And because I want to describe to the listeners where we are. He's coming
He's
to
got like gorilla tits.
Yeah, stop talking about his breasts, Kevin. Those are like, what are they?
Chesticles.
Chesticles. Now he's come in to arrest Dick Jones, but Directive 4, the hidden secret directive, has been engaged.
I want to know,
and again,
how did they get
shit.
Ed 209 up onto that floor if he can't go up the stairs?
Elevator. Straight elevator.
So where's that elevator?
Around the back, where you carry the freight up, where you bring up all of Ronnie Cox's
cargo elevator.
Yeah, he's cocaine. His shipment of cocaine comes in big containers.
Allegedly.
So now we have, well, actually, Verhoeven's shipment of cocaine fueled him for like a whole decade in Hollywood. So, so now we have RoboCop fighting off against Ed 209. Miniature work, which, it looks. I actually don't mind it. You can quite clearly see it's miniature.
It's
endearing,
cute,
I find.
As
there we go.
Pop
Cute.
would say.
I say endearing. I find it endearing.
He's cute.
And they gave him like this lion's roar. That robot, this kind of lion's roar in his language. Oh, you could see on Blu-ray. I could literally see when he was shooting rockets at RoboCop there. Oh, god damn it! Every time I'm going to do that, I'm going to have to pluck a hair or something like that. But you could see the rocket like shooting along a cable. And here we come to Ed 209's fatal flaw: stairs. All those fucking scientists.
It's hilarious. I could just imagine being in a story conference and saying, and he can't get down the stairs, and I'm thinking, yeah, well, we could come up with something better, but I suppose that'll do for now.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, dude, stairs, it'll be amazing. Look, I'm just not seeing it. I think it might make him too comical. Yeah, but
when it's down there, it'll squeal like a pig. And RoboCop will kind of like... To be fair, I don't think RoboCop looks too confident going down the stairs myself.
He looks like me after about 10 points.
But he's
all the
really
taxes
been
on.
He's really gotten a
I just need to go to a bank link. Came in a bank link. Drop me back.
But Kevin, it's the stairs. Don't go down the stairs. I'll be grand. Don't worry about it. I'm fine. And they're all just going to unleash all the cops just shooting them. It's awful.
This is how you know that they're cops. They shot the wrong guy. They all shoot at the same time and they don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
If RoboCop was set in Ireland now, you'd have a load of Gardaí running up to him and saying, would I step into the car there, please, sir? And that would be the extent of it, because they don't have guns.
Yeah.
They'd have
well, some of them, we have armed response units now, but they don't in general.
Yeah, but they're only in Dublin, up in that shithole.
No, they're every part of the country now, Kevin.
My God, the whole country's gone to the dogs.
It's gone to the dogs, man. But I
blame Brexit.
Yeah, for having the cops turn against poor RoboCop. Johnson.
Ouch.
It's fairly brutal. Like, again, your heart goes out for RoboCop in this scene. And I actually love his escape. I love this little physicality
it's
of
clever.
Him kind of falling between the little ramps.
The only
the
one that comes and sticks by him is Lewis, his partner.
He's true.
Because that's what partners do.
Yeah. All the apostles have turned on him except for Lewis.
Yep. Jesus, Mary Magdalene.
Yeah. It is a beautiful film. I do love this story. It's a tight story. I love it. There's no superfluous elements to this plot. It's just...
Well, the dinosaur advert might be a bit superfluous.
Literally, as I said it, the dinosaur.
Literally.
It's 9,000. Did I say literally? Please don't say I said literally.
You did. You just said it right there.
Fuck it. Oh, God, plucking a hair. Okay. 6,000.
That's amazing. Anytime I sort of call out when you say something, you always are like, did I just say all that jazz? Like, Jesus, don't you hear yourself speak?
I actually heard myself. I listened to the Mission Impossible commentary, and I said, I believe I said all that jazz. I believe I said that sort of jazz. And a minute later, you called it out, and I said, have I said it already? He said, you literally just said it, literally. And
I only say it because it gets a reaction out of you. I don't give a shit.
Oh, God. Well, I'm not going to say it anymore. Literally, that's the last time I'm going to say it, literally. Do you know what annoyed me about the OCP logo? They fixed it for the second one. The OCP, they've got it wrong. The P should be on the inside. They've got the logo backwards, but they fixed it for the second one. Sorry, that was always a gripe for me.
Oh, I need to look that up now.
Yeah, the OCP logo, they did it. They designed it just poorly for the first one, and the second one
Whitley.
They designed it right.
I had a character called Whitley.
Keva. I love this guy, Keva. I love that guy. Yeah, you're on your own. He looks like a genuine character they found on the site. Kevin, that's how I imagine you look right now, Kevin. That guy, a big mop of hair. And
I showed you a picture today of me bungee jumping, and you were like, "Did you actually have dark hair?" It's like, oh my God, I've been the crypt keeper for so long.
Was that before you got dusty?
I've been plastering like mad.
Take a look at my face, dick.
Shoulder pads.
Trying to kill me.
Shoulder pads, and everybody, all the women had curly hair.
Mm-hmm.
Teased curly hair in the 80s.
Yeah. Certainly
And all
was
the fellas were skinny belts.
and shiny suits.
Yeah, nylon suits.
Well, listen, Chief.
Boddicker, he
Anytime I
looks
see an office like that,
look at my face.
sorry to cut across you.
Now I gotta deal with it.
That's a first.
Shit.
I'm interrupting Co.
Go on. Every time you see an office like that.
Yeah, I just think that'd be awful to work in. Because you'd have the sun beating in on top of you and you wouldn't be able to see your laptop.
So right. That's so right. Yeah, but I've been in offices like
Well, I guess we're gonna be.
I've been in offices like that, and I've been in offices like that in LA where it kind of like it's up high like that, and you're overlooking like the not baking, but like the really sun drenched Los Angeles city. But the windows are all tinted, and the air conditioning is like just perfect. So even if it's shining in towards you, because it's tinted windows, it's just pretty perfect, I would say.
Capitalism.
Yeah.
Did we make it work for us?
It's not working for you and me anyway.
Oh, God.
Oh, God. The little tracking device with the LED stuck in
it looks like an
one
iPod.
spot. Oh, my God. And here we're back at the steel mill. Here we're back at the place where
Now, remember when I said
born.
in that episode that everything is inverted in the structure? So when they went to this refinery, we'll say, where he was killed, they're now returning to the refinery at the same point at the opposite end of the structure of the story for his second rebirth or his regeneration as a character. He's going to have the mask off and he's returning to be more human. So it's got this lovely symmetry.
Yeah, you're so right. Absolutely.
Where she came along to see him be killed, and now she's coming back.
It's a great script. It's a great,
it really is.
It's a great script. This isn't a schlock. This is not a schlocky film. This is a quality film, and a low budget. Do not forget that this film wasn't a big.
Whose size is that gun?
It was. This was only like $11 million back in the day. So, like 11
My
million.
God,
back
they
in the
made
day.
it. They made it work.
Yeah, it was nothing. They had, for this type of a film, they had no budget.
The baby.
I was
on
always
that,
worried
baby
at this
food.
shot. What about
We're just going to keep talking over each other.
insult the baby now?
No, I was going to say the baby on the baby food looks like the meme of that baby that's doing the fist.
Oh, yeah, that's true. I always worried when I first saw this. I actually looked away because I was worried about what I'd see when he lifted the helmet off.
My God, my hair. I'm bald.
So, it was when he was doing this stuff. That's when Peter Weller was saying that he was going to the makeup chair when the guys were going out for drinks. So
I'm sure he would be.
So he was 6.5 hours in the makeup chair just to get the head prosthetics done, not a mind putting on the costume, putting on the suit.
It looks fantastic, though.
Yeah. Rob Bottin again. It was his magic. He kind of created a fake. He elongated his forehead to make it work. He said the key to making the head working was making his forehead longer.
Giving him a 5 head.
Yep. Yeah, it's amazing looking. It's like the bullet. It's like you could still see the bullets where the bullet wound was. It's like the bullet's still stuck there, even though I know it's not. But it looks like that.
He's got no eyebrows.
Yeah, eyebrows are very important, aren't they? Shave off your eyebrows, and you'll for the face. If anyone's missing her eyebrows, like, you know, it is...
sweat in your eyes constantly.
You do, don't you? Here we go.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I meant to block out sweat.
Mm-hmm. Has that ever happened to you where someone's
shaved my eyebrows
shaved off an eyebrow? Yeah. Has that ever done that to you?
No. I don't run with psychopaths.
My
Has that
mother
happened to you?
did it to my father.
Shaved off his eyebrows?
He wouldn't. His eyebrows grew very long. And he wouldn't get them cut, or she was just like saying, you have to get them sorted. And when he was asleep, she went in and while he was sleeping, cut his eyebrows, but basically cut them off, like completely. And so his face just wasn't right for months, because they grow really slowly, like.
Can't you just use it like clippers and just like swipe it across?
But we didn't have clippers, just had scissors.
Jesus. Back in the 40s.
He just woke up going, why is everyone looking at me strange?
The garden shears. She was shocked. Oh, Jesus, the tip of his nose.
What she did? I don't know what he would talk about that. He would say, look what you did to my face. I have no eyebrows. They're all gone. Huh?
Is your dad from Cork?
See, I'm Northwest Cork, so he's Northwest Cork. So we got
he
more
almost sounds
Kerry,
like
Limerick
he's from. He sounds like he's up from the Midlands almost.
But it's where we're from. We're a cross between Kerry, Limerick, and Cork. So we'll be from Kanturk, and we kind of talk a bit like that, you know what I mean? Kanturk will be a tongue close to us, like, you know? And it's a very kind of slushy kind of accent. And it's, it's a strange...
Would you like to buy a dog?
Where are we going now? Very good, you going out to the match? Yeah, good. Let's shoot there, so it's kind of Kerry, it's kind of Limerick, it's kind of Cork City, it's strange. This fucking gun. Aaron Swanigan comes out with this fucking gun. And he blows up the 6000 SUX. They're so mean. I would hate to be in this gang. They're just so fucking mean. I hate them.
I'd say it'd be a bit of a laugh, really.
Of course you'd say they're a bit of a laugh.
Let's go around blowing the shit up. I mean, what I like about them is they're not capitalists.
Yeah. Definitely not capitalists.
Fucking crazy looking gun, though.
Yeah. And again,
there was an American woman on TikTok was saying, she was pointing out sort of inconsistencies between things in the UK and the US, and she said, where are all the fire hydrants?
Right.
Where are your fire hydrants in the UK? She couldn't make sense of it.
They're underground, Kevin. That's generally where they are. Yeah.
Yeah, you just the little square things that you sort of they come along with their little their little hinge thing that they pop it up. They just tap in that way into the mains.
Yeah.
Oops, that's bad language.
What bad language?
I'm not repeating it. They used an F word from the 80s that you can't say anymore.
Oh, right. Okay. I didn't hear it, Kevin. I didn't hear it, so maybe.
I read it.
Okay. All right.
That is a very uncomfortable looking bed she's made for herself.
She really is. She's using, she needs her spine and neck muscles to be as straight up as possible. And that batch of iron rods is going to give her spinal trouble. It really will.
The thing is, they were all in their 20s, all these actors.
They're definitely not anymore. We've lost so many. We've lost Miguel Ferreira. He died a few years ago.
He did.
I think Kirkwood Smith died as well.
He's still alive. He has to be. He's the dad from the 70s show. He's still
that 70s show, yeah.
Alive and kicking.
I'm just going to start killing people off. Okay.
Oh, no, I'm going to have to get out my phone and just make sure. We can't be killing people.
I'm going to try
Kirkwood Smith.
Make sure he's not dead. He's dead, Kevin. No, he's not. Hang on a second.
He's not. He's 78. He's alive.
He's still alive. Well,
God bless him.
Not what I'm dubbing him. He's 78. He's 78 now. Showing me up.
I figure that's dead on.
Wonder if...
You know, you were talking about your daughter earlier on saying gas for petrol.
Yeah.
Do you notice that a lot of people over here now say that figures? It's sort of like that makes sense.
Ooh, that figures. Well, yeah.
That figures.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's those sort of like American generic colloquialisms that people are picking up, and I miss an awful lot of the Irish or even the Cork phrases that we used to use. That just sort of they're gone now. That people don't use them anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, they're a part of their identity, and
yeah, like if somebody said to you, "He's a dinger with the car."
Oh, it means he's great with a car. He's
Yeah.
very efficient.
Nobody says that anymore.
Yeah.
I just loved that's like sort of Hibernian English instead of like
Yeah, I think
people
it's-
saying that figures.
That's the one thing and I don't want to talk about other podcasts, but I know now we have the showdown between RoboCop and
Our podcast and whatever other podcast.
Yeah, there's another really, really super famous
Who
podcast.
are your least liked podcasts? Will get it out, say it.
My least liked podcast. I don't listen to them. If it's my least liked podcasts, I listen to podcasts I enjoy.
Everybody listening to this, recommend us to people that would like us. We want our podcast to be so well known amongst those that might listen to us.
And you only have like a week or something to go until we actually start producing proper episodes again, where it's actually edited and we're actually on point and have a discussion and have. But we're here, and it's kind of like the big showdown. This is a Western showdown of the sheriff taking on the bad guys back, as you said, Kevin. I love this.
So this is the we're coming up on the bit where it's a disgusting death.
It is bad, yeah. It was, from my reading, this was an idea that was inspired from a 1970s science fiction film, of The Incredible Melting Man. A film called The Incredible Melting Man. Yeah.
See, this is what should have happened to the Joker if he fell into that vat of acid.
Yeah, exactly.
Ow, look at his fingernails.
It's awful.
Oh my god.
Oh, it's awful. Oh, it's awful.
You'd want to be dead. I'd throw myself in front of the car.
When he hits him with the car, it's like, the head rolls across the car. It was a complete accident. Like would be excellent.
I love when those little things happen.
It's rolling across.
Oh, shit! Hubcap.
I think. Yeah, I wonder if that was accidental. Get off me! Oh my god! Of all of the criminals, he actually kind of gets the worst beating. Of most of the criminals.
Are you dancing?
Kiss me? If he went up and said, "Kiss me!"
Are you dancing?
Christ. It's poor. Oh my god! When the head just rolls across, you saw the head rolling across the bonnet.
Kids films in the 80s were awesome.
The fact that a video library, the one woman working behind the video library, let me walk out of the video library with RoboCop happily tucked under my arm, skipping, whistling along with the birds. Like, really? Social services should have been called.
When I used to work in a video shop, well, we both worked in the same video shop in the same franchise, the
Same
Irish
franchise,
version
yeah.
of Blockbuster, X-Division.
Yeah.
Even if you told parents this video game is an 18s, they'd be like, it's grand. He's played it before.
Yeah,
and you'd be like, no. Part of the strategy of the game is that you have to beat the shit out of a hooker to get money.
Yeah.
And go to strip clubs to sort of, rob pimps and stuff. And like, it's fine, it's grand. And you feel like a bit of a square then trying to tell them, no, I don't think the 6-year-old should be playing this.
Yeah. That was, I think, to be fair to my to the woman who was in the video library, I do remember her looking at my dad.
She was langers.
Well, no, she was smoking like a chimney. But I remember her. She would look to my dad a few times and said, "Is it alright if he watches this?" And the old lad would be going, "Oh no, yeah, Dad, whatever." I don't keep him quiet for a while. Oh Jesus, poor RoboCop gets a ton of metal deposited.
I don't know
on his
now
account.
that The Basic Instinct. No, I don't think that one's for the kids. To be grand there,
Oh, no.
fuck's sake.
All right, well, give him the Basic Instinct, but leave behind the Terminator. I don't like that. I don't like the self-surgery on eyeballs. He might be copying that, like, you know what I mean? Oh, Jesus, it's Murphy's just kind of like twitching out and Boddicker's hitting him with
Doesn't
this
this
rod.
remind you of Terminator 2?
I bet, yeah.
When he
the location,
jams the spike into... Nobody jams the spike through him.
Oh, God, yeah. And then now Murphy uses his information data blade to...
Oh, yeah, look, that was
him in the
definitely inserted footage because it was so grainy.
Yeah, you can see the grainy footage, definitely. You see that blood of the blood squirting out of Boddicker's neck. Does that, like, trigger your blood reaction thing at all? Does it make you woozy?
It doesn't, actually. It's the... for me, it's like slitting of a wrist or...
Okay.
Or like in The Thing when they're doing the blood blood serum test.
Yeah.
When they're cutting the thumb with the scalpel.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh God. It's weird. It's just stuff like that. Surgeries as well. I think that's sort of like people having a surgery on them, even if it's like a documentary on telly.
Oh yeah. Awful.
You know,
So you don't watch that show about the pimple popper, the woman who takes out errant.
Listen, I don't understand that there are human beings in the world that love watching pimples being popped. That to me makes me want to vomit.
Yeah.
Like, vomit up everything I've ever eaten in my life. It's so disgusting. And some people love that stuff.
Yeah. My middle brother, I have to be very clear on which brother I'm talking about because I've mentioned my brothers and some of my brothers say, oh, my brother's friends like laugh at him. But my middle brother, when I was a teenager, if he saw you with a pimple, he would nearly chase you around
Oh
the
my
house.
God. Oh.
Yeah. You would, let me at it.
Oh God.
Just leave me alone. Pimple rape.
Oh. I would actually find that like a childhood trauma. That would really fuck me up.
Awful. Yeah. Oh, he used to love him. He used to love him.
Disgusting. What are we doing with our lives talking about this stuff on the mic?
I know, here, and should be talking about RoboCop, for God's sake. So RoboCop has actually defeated his Clarence. He's gone back to the OCP headquarters. He has taken out one of those big guns and he has just eviscerated Ed 209, gone into the boardroom.
And now
Cox
his way of torturing Morton or Miguel Ferreira is going to come back to be used as evidence against him.
Yep.
These are serious charges, young man. What was your evidence?
And Dan O'Hurley and RoboCop both know that the only way they can get around the directive is to no longer
void it.
Black guy having, and the black guy having the appropriate response.
Yeah, watch the black guy. Just forget everything else. Just watch the black guy now.
Yeah.
Oh, we should look up what his name is because it sounds very dismissive just to call him.
Yeah.
But
Ronnie Cox.
He's one of the executives.
Yeah. The glasses wearing executive. No, he's taken Bill O'Hurley, Dan O'Hurley hostage.
Bill O'Hurley.
And he says, Dick, you're fired. Love it. Thank you. And RoboCop does. This is pure gunslinger stuff. Shoots him. Yeah, there you go. Glasses executive gets up and he's like going, oh my God, that was awful. Now we saw Ronnie Cox. Oh, the model of him falling out of the window. And it looks awful.
His character, look at him. Give him the thumbs up.
The glasses guy.
His character is Joe.
Yeah. We're so on his side.
Nice shooting, son. What's your name? Murphy.
I'm one of the Murphys from outside the trash. What an ending to the film. RoboCop.
Hard cut to black.
Fuck it.
Bula
Great
Boss.
fucking film. Yeah, great film.
Directed by Paul Verhoeven. Written by Ed Nimmer and Michael Miner. John Davison, executive producer. Producer Aaron Schmidt. Did you ever used to watch end credits to films and you'd see your name come up? And you'd be like, oh that's
like
what it must
someone
look
who
like.
had my name.
Yeah.
Oh, my name never came
I never saw...
Not
Yeah,
once.
my name never came up either. But Leanne came up once
Did it?
in the end credits. And I was like, oh my God, oh Jesus Christ, that's what it's going to look like.
Yeah. Rob Bottin just showed up there. We need to give an extra boulabus. For those people who don't understand, boulabus is a round of applause in Irish. Boulabus for Rob Bottin. Nancy
In
Allen, boulabus.
Australia.
Yeah.
Daniel
Also
O'Hurley.
Irish. Yeah, Daniel. Ronnie Cox. It's unusual. I've never seen a credit as Daniel.
No, neither have I.
Daniel O'Hurley was one of those actors who, as Jose Ferreira, there's Miguel Ferreira, Boulabus, described him as saying he was just an inch away from being huge. From, just the right roles didn't land his way. He was probably like the character in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Leonardo DiCaprio's character. He was just always just on the fringe of huge stardom.
He was in a brilliant fucking film. Oh God, it was. I'm having to look it up now because, as we said, I don't have a brain
Fail-safe.
anymore. Failsafe.
Halloween 3, yeah.
No, Failsafe. God,
Yeah.
when I looked on IMDb, that wasn't listed in the top mentions. Failsafe is a fantastic film, and they got buried because Stanley Kubrick didn't like that it was so similar to Dr. Strangelove.
Whoa.
But it is excellent. So for anyone out there, watch Failsafe.
He's also in Halloween 3 and the Last Starfighter. So
Yes, I don't remember this Last Starfighter because I'm not particularly fussed about that film, even though I know it's a lot of people love it.
He's
But
good.
Halloween 3 is quite cool. That's a batshit film, but I just love it because it's so stylish. These credits are very, very long.
They're very slow because there's so few, and they just went, sure, look, we'll give everyone a big font.
So that, is the end of the season of bonus content of us talking about sort of all our favourite scenes in some of the films. I know we didn't cover every film because that would have filled 17 weeks of audio commentaries, and we don't really want to change the format of the show where there are more bonus episodes than actual real episodes. But
We might get to them in the future at some stage. We might actually run out of those that we can go back to.
can do, yeah. Because it gets kind of tricky, for both of us, because we're both, have full-time jobs besides this. So having to, and our episodes do take time to do, with the researching, with the recording and the editing and putting in the clips and stuff. And so that takes time. So thank you for sticking with us for this sort of a hiatus period. And we do intend on building in hiatuses every season. And if you really liked what these audio commentaries, we can do more of them. Or if you want us to mix it up, we can look to do something else which doesn't require us, having to invest so much time into doing a lot of editing and post work.
Mm-hmm. Kevin, can I get in one bit of trivia that I'm just after seeing there as you were talking about Daniel O'Hurley?
No,
please.
Thank you, everyone. We'll be back.
My trivia is this: Daniel O'Hurley he is a genuine Irishman. He was born in Wexford.
Yes, of course he is. That's why I fucking mentioned him.
But I thought he was an Irish American. I thought he was like
no, he's full Irish, 100% Irish.
Full Irish, yeah. Like he was in the gay theatre, and that's where he got his experience.
Sure, his accent is proper Irish.
Oh my God! I always thought he was first generation Irish. But anyway, there we go. I've just learned something new, audience.
First generation American.
People who didn't. Sorry, first generation American. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've enjoyed doing these audio commentaries. They've been great crack, and sometimes we've been a bit delirious. But
yeah. And did you like the background
case,
music? Because I have a friend that absolutely detests the background music, but then he listens to us on double speed, so it must sound like a rave.
Oh, he listens to us on double speed. The lunatic.
He does. He's a psychopath. Dean Lines.
Dean.
I've just outed him. Dean Lines, yeah. Double speed.
My God.
So we're like rattling through half-remembered facts.
Dean made a machine. Jojo made it go.
But yeah, thanks a million, everyone, for listening. And thanks for picking this film for us to do. And Will, do you have anything you want to say as we come down to the final few seconds?
I want to say thanks as well. Yeah. I love doing this, and it's been a pleasure. And come back for season 2. We'll be back
next week.
Did you hit stop? Well, hit stop now.
I'm hitting stop right now.
Okay.
And here is a clip from the lads' latest Mini Bits bonus show. The full episode, plus 80 more, are available on their Patreon.
See ya, Mossy. I gotta go in and record another one of these fucking mini bits.
Oh, yes, this is all it is.
I know. What are you doing?
Right now, on the Academy screener site, and I hit play, because there's only a few films on it for the first month or two. There's only like about less than 10 films on it. And Guy Ritchie's The Covenant is on here. So I hit play on that, and I'm hearing we're out in Afghanistan, and I'm hearing all the dirt, and I hear vehicles, and I hear the sound effects of characters walking. But when characters open their mouths, I don't hear any dialogue.
Oh,
there's no dialogue.
They've uploaded the wrong audio track. It's like that Tom Cruise trailer where it was just the sound effects.
Have you met an SP?
Yeah, and this film has been up on the screener site for a few weeks now, and they still have the wrong one here. Well, I tell you what films are actually up there for all Academy members to see, and to see what they've put up there.
But first of all, let's just throw to our theme. And I have to say, the feedback from my thank you ballad was quite fierce.
The power of Christ compels you.
So I asked Mossy, who is a friend of my dad's at the quiz, sing us a theme tune.
Oh.
So over to Mossy.
Hit the cards. I'm fine, I'll get it done in one take. It's the Mini Bits. Or podcast, what will they say? With Will and Kevin Cock.
Their best fucking podcast.
That'll do.
That'll do.
My God.
Thank you, Mossy.
You would make an angel weep. That voice would make an angel weep.
Telling you.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Boolabus.
It only cost us 2 months patron money, so, you know.
Is that all? Money well spent in my eyes.
Yeah. I mean, you can't get much for €20. Will, you were telling me before the intro that you were looking at stuff on the Academy Screeners website.
The Academy Awards. So for official members, yes. So they don't send out DVDs anymore. So how you do all your streaming stuff is all via the Academy website. And the streaming season has begun, which is exciting. So it means for the rest of the year...
Did it ever end?
It does end. It does. After the Academy Awards, there's about 2 weeks, and they take all the films down, and then they begin again at the end of August, and they all start coming up. So it's a whole new collection of hopefuls.
So how many films are on there?
Right now, about 10. Actually, 10 exactly. I can tell you the 10.
Oh, go on, tell me.
John Wick 4.
For the Oscars. Oh, because there's like...
Yes, they're adding in stunt category, aren't they?
Are they adding it in? Is the stunt category being added?
I believe they're adding in some sort of stunt category.
Breaking news straight from an Academy member's mouth.
Because they're adding in stunt category, aren't they?
Slash film.
I don't know. Did I read this in an article? I feel they were.
I
felt they were.
Have long overlooked stunts, and my God, it's pure artistry.
Yeah.
And it is incredibly, well, these days, it's all fucking computer generated avatars.
That's why we should that's why these people should be getting their Oscars when someone's actually gone out there. Yeah,
go back,
absolutely.
Go back and give it to your man from Mad Max who broke his legs.
Give it to Richard Farnsworth, who was a stuntman and starred in The Straight Story. Yeah, Richard Farnsworth was a career stuntman. Absolutely.
Wasn't that also the case with Machete? What's your man, Machete? Danny Trejo.
Danny Trejo.
Is
really?
It Trejo or Trejo?
I always call him Trejo. He just says, call me Danny.
I was going to say that back to you.
Nah.
I was like, because we just call him